Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Veach Season. We are your guest hosts, Rocky Magaña and Kramer Sansone. Brett Veach could not be here today because he is down in New Orleans. Getting some of that crawfish and gumbo pie that mama made.
And that gator.
My mama said he can play with that foosball. Them boys, them Chiefs boys, get ready to play that foosball. And you didn't know this, but Brett Veach is Creole. He actually he speaks Creole, and he's just
is he now?
That's why him and Tyrann Mathieu are such good friends.
Oh, right? Makes sense. Okay, Honey Badger. Nice.
He's down there staying at the Honey Badger's house. Getting some gumbo and some, I don't know what, and listen to some jazz music and drinking probably about 10 or 15 of those Bourbon Street, like, what do they call them? Like
hurricanes? There's hand grenades, hurricanes, either one.
Yeah, hand grenades, hurricanes, whichever one you want. Next thing you know, he's 3 sheets to the wind, waking up in a full blown like Mardi Gras outfit. And I'm not talking about the guy ones. I'm talking about the lady ones with the sequin bra and panties,
nice,
huge ass feathers. Just he's like I'm strutting in Super Bowl Sunday with runny makeup and a sequin under push-up bra on.
Can you imagine if he actually did do that legitly? Like, would he be scrutinized or would he be praised?
I mean, I would praise the king for.
But yeah, you should.
But I mean, there would be people who would do both, right? I feel like in the current climate of our country, there is no middle ground. So you would choose a side, and then you would vehemently, either defend him to the death or hurl insults and say that he's ruining the fabric of America. There is no just he got drunk and had a good time and then showed up in ladies' clothing the next day. I mean, it couldn't be that simple.
No, that's true. It can't be.
It can never be that simple. He's either ruining the country or he's fighting for everybody's freedoms.
Yep.
It can't be he got drunk off his ass and then did a line of coke on Bourbon Street and then woke up the next morning wearing women's clothing and face covered in makeup and with a feather boa tied around his nuts. It's like you do. Like we've all been there before, once or twice.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say all that. No, haven't been there yet.
That's never happened to you.
I've never blacked out in my life. I've browned out quite a few times, but I've never actually fully blacked out.
Oh man. Yeah, I would say I've blacked out before.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
You seem like a guy that would black out every once in a while.
I'm not saying like obviously I haven't gotten drunk in years now that I'm a father. Like I don't have time to do that shit. But when I was younger, in my single days, there was one St. Patrick's Day where I did 16 Irish car bombs.
Oh my gosh.
And by 9 p.m. And I remember I did my last one, and then me and my roommates and all my buddies were having a party at our house. And we started in 9 a.m., right? We're going all day long.
You have to.
And I did my last one. And then all of my roommates, my friends, they're like, let's go play soccer in the front yard. We had a kind of a decent-sized front yard.
That's not a good idea on a full stomach.
I was like, sure, let's go. And I remember walking out the front door into the grass of the front yard. And then I woke up at 3 a.m. and everybody was inside asleep. And I was laying in the front yard using the soccer ball as a pillow.
Why did they get you inside? That I have so many questions.
Well, here's what you have to know about me, Kramer, is that normally I don't black out because I fall asleep. I go to sleep before I black out, and I can sleep absolutely anywhere. I walked out of a Halloween party one time and then laid down, suspended between two cars that were parked parallel in Westport, suspending myself across the two cars and just slept there. When I lived in the Philippines, they have these things called seawalls, where it's basically it's like the breakers that keep the waves from coming inland, right?
Okay.
And I used to go to the bars and then just walk over the seawall and lay down and just sleep there all night. And or there's this one bar we used to go to all the time, and they knew me so much we'd go there, and so they knew me well enough that at 11, probably 1 o'clock in the morning, I'd get tired and I'd crawl up on one of the tables and I'd go to sleep, and they'd just leave me there. And I'd wake up the next morning, and the cleaning ladies would be there sweeping the bar, and I would just get up and walk home. And
No kidding.
see you later. Yeah, and I just go home.
That's insane, dude. Like, I'm shocked you weren't arrested at all.
No, I've never been arrested in my life. I
It's
am
good.
a model.
You've told me the one that's close.
Yeah,
But
I've
yeah.
been close before, but I've never been arrested, and I'm a model citizen. But
Attaboy.
I do go to sleep before I black out.
So did you
And
play soccer that day?
I either played soccer and then felt like and don't remember it, or I walked out there to play soccer and then I immediately grabbed the ball from whoever had it and laid down and went to sleep. Either one is extremely plausible, knowing me. Like
That's amazing.
Either one could have happened.
You could have ruined your friends wanting to play soccer the entire time. You're like,
Yeah,
Rocky, give us the ball, Rocky.
Nobody was mad about it, and I mean they're my friends. They know know the score. They've been like we're talking like we've been friends since like high school, and so like by this point, we're like they're still my friends, right? I have one of my friends who was there became my friend when I was 2 years old. He's been my friend for 41 years.
That's amazing,
right? Like he gets it, right? Like he knows what he's signed up for, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't think anybody really cared too much, but yeah. So no, I what were we? Oh yeah. So if I showed up cross-dressed, with a feather boa tied around my nutsack and said I blacked out,
it's possible.
It's possible they would be surprised. They were like, we're just surprised he didn't just like find a corner of the bar to lay down on the floor and go to sleep in before that happened. Congratulations to you for staying up that late.
Now, let's make sure Brett doesn't do that this week.
Yeah, Brett, don't do that. Because you might lose your podcast, right?
That's true. Like it might just be us. It might be ours now.
Well, or we won't have a podcast to guest host anymore, and they're going to take Brett's he's going to get canceled.
His name, image, and likeness will be revoked from this podcast.
Exactly. So basically, he's going to get canceled, and so they'll cancel his podcast. And so since this isn't actually our podcast, we're going to lose the only gig that we have to get on to hang out and talk stupid shit.
So Brett, stay in line. Stay in line, Brett. Show up, get the job done by just doing whatever you do during the day, and lay off the hurricanes.
But what you do at night behind closed doors, nobody's business but you, buddy.
Exactly.
Listen,
chow down.
Listen, put on those assless chaps and that underwire bra. Just march out on like you're effing Beyonce doing a halftime show. Nobody cares. Do whatever you want behind closed doors, man. We love you. But yeah, so this is the official Veach season Super Bowl extravaganza.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the big pregame show, Kramer. This is the big one more win until you become a Chiefs fan. This is almost like the night before your wedding night.
Okay.
Are you nervous to become the bride of Mahomes sooner rather than later?
I'm thinking I really haven't had too much time to think about it, if I'm being honest. Well, I think they get the job done. I guess we'll have to see on Sunday because it's going to be a long one. I think it's going to be.
Have you picked out your wedding gown for when you marry Patrick Mahomes?
No, I haven't picked out my gown yet.
Fandom.
Haven't not yet. Maybe by parade day or on parade day, possibly.
You have your something borrowed, something blue, something old, and something new.
I don't get the reference.
That's a wedding thing.
Okay,
dude, you're getting married,
dude. Yeah, but I don't get the reference to that.
You're getting married.
I know.
How do you not know this?
I should know this. Should I? Should I know this? Should I know that? That's saying
it's a bride thing, but as the groom, you should.
Oh yeah. No, as the groom, you don't need to worry about that. That's not our job to worry about your little rhymes and.
Yeah. What a naive person you are.
No, I'm just dumb.
You poor, naive, stupid little boy.
I'm just trying to get the tax break,
Yeah. Let me tell you, it's not worth it. It's not that big of a tax break. No, it's great. But no, if you don't love the person, it's not worth the tax break. If you do love the person, the tax break is a nice bonus.
Oh, I love this person. I'm gonna get married to. Can't wait to marry her.
So happy for you.
September.
Well, she should feel the exact same way because you're a goddamn national treasure.
Oh, stop it, Rocky.
You are.
You're making me
Look at
blush. I'm so
that.
pasty. You can see how red my face is gonna get.
He's gonna blind into the background.
No kidding. I might be the wall behind me. I might blend in with here soon.
I love it. I love it.
Need some vitamin D.
I'm just gonna leave that.
All right,
one.
stop. No, I need the sun. The sun needs to hit me. Is what I'm trying to say.
I'm just gonna leave that one there and just not talk about vitamin D. Because actually, no. Speaking of vitamin D,
okay.
I was thinking about something when I was cleaning the kitchen earlier, just doing dishes, and a thought occurred to me, and I was like, if I suddenly had a Freaky Friday moment where I woke up and I was suddenly in Mike Caliendo's body.
Mike Caliendo, out of all people.
Yeah, right. And his body. And it was Sunday evening and I'm in the Super Bowl. And I look across from me. And in this scenario, they're playing Jalen Carter on the
oh boy, that's
on the right side. Even though he plays on the left side and Vic Fangio doesn't switch his defenders around, I know this. But in this scenario, or Jordan Davis will say is lined up across from me, right?
Okay.
And it's like, how am I going to stop him? Like, what would I do? I have to stop him. How would I stop it?
How would you stop him?
Well, I wouldn't want to get a penalty called against me for like holding, right? Or like tackling him. Because like right now, so I feel like I gotta get my pad level as low as possible, right?
You can't chop him though.
Can't chop him. I get my pad level low. And I was like, hand placement would be very important, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
I would just take my hand and I would just shove it down the front of his pants.
Okay, can you do that? Is that a part of the
open palm? I would do open palm or maybe a slight cupping, but no grabbing. And they try to call me for holding. I'd be saying, "No, sir, I did not hold anything. I was cupping. I was only cupping. I was not holding."
Oh boy, I thank God I didn't play offensive line.
So they can't call me. They can't call me for holding. And so I was like, well, what could they call me for? And I was like, well, not illegal hands to the face. Illegal hands to the dick is not a penalty in football.
Is that just like a gentleman's rule? No one does that?
I guess so. Well, they could call me for unsportsmanlike conduct, right?
Unsportsmanlike what?
Conduct, right? Like
okay,
unsportsmanlike conduct.
There we go.
But then I would say, what are you saying that just because I like to touch dicks, I can't be a sportsman? That's very homophobic of you, referee.
Oh, then
you can't say that I'm not a sportsman because I like to cup dicks when they rush me. And then they couldn't penalize me. It's a perfect
it's a perfect crime.
It's a perfect crime. I would just, as soon as Jordan Davis tried to rush me, I'd shove my hand out of his pants and cup his junk.
Why shove it down the pants though? Why can't you go on the outside of it?
Because he's just gonna feel like because if somebody just does it on the outside of your pants, it's like
good luck trying to get your hand inside someone's pants, dude.
Yeah, maybe it's like, oh, he accidentally did it. But if your hand is inside of the pants, that's the alarm bells start going off in your head.
But he's gonna see blood by then, and then he wants to beat your ass. That's the thing. That's what's gonna happen. Then he's out of the game. Boom, check him off the list. Go on the next one.
And I don't give a shit because by that point it's at least 3 seconds and the ball's out of Mahomes' hand.
Exactly.
And the chains are moving.
Yeah.
So I mean, as long as they're not going to throw a flag on me,
you have at least a half a second. I wouldn't say half a second. You have at least maybe a third of a second to slide your hand in between probably two things of fabric, probably a jock strap in there as well. Maybe it's just a piece of fabric in the jock strap. Who knows? Maybe it just goes out free balling. You still have like a 0.3 seconds to get your hands right in there. Think you could do that? You think you have quick hands like that? You slide of hand? You doing magic tricks?
I do. I think I got it because I have a technique. Ready?
Okay.
So here's what you do. First thing you got to do. I said you got to get your pad level low. Pad level low. Crouch down. Then put your kick back your right leg to brace to get the leverage.
Yeah, donkey kick back.
Forearm on their chest to push against them.
What, left
create
hand?
the space. Yeah, left hand forearm in the chest, punch to the chest with the forearm. Then that gives you enough leverage into them that you could then take the right hand and slide it in there and cup. And so forearm, slide, cup, and then you got it. And then they freak out and they just punch you right inside the helmet.
You literally have to get that hand to the chest perfectly in sync to get your hand in the pants.
Well, no, because you could brace, like punch, brace, hand in the pants. It's a 1-2.
What the hell are we talking about, Rocky? What's this from again?
They get pissed off and punch the side of your helmet and break their hand, and they're out of the game. Also, it's a perfect crime,
dude. You never lose.
And this would only happen if I woke up on Sunday evening or on morning, and I'm in Mike Caliendo's body, and I'm trying to save the Chiefs. And
I hope Mike Caliendo is listening right now. So, and if that's the case, hello, Mike. You can join the show anytime you want. 2, let us know if this is going to work for you. Yeah, would you do this,
Mike? Could you, if you had to stop Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis, would you attempt the cup technique? This is patented offensive line technique. Like, they're going to start teaching this.
I don't know about that one.
No, Duke Merriweather is going to actually come on this show and break down the cup technique. When draft season comes out.
Is that why Bill Belichick went to back to college so he could teach the cup technique?
So he teach the cup technique. I mean, it's going to be all over OL masterminds.
Boy. That's ridiculous.
Mitch Schwartz,
Veach season, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Mitch Schwartz is actually like the king of the cup technique.
Oh, is he then?
Yeah, Mitch, we know you're listening, so please, tune in on social media and let us know the merits of the cup technique,
please,
and how you could successfully deploy such technique against such a large man like Jordan Davis. So 17 minutes into the show. And
what man, we're on a burner right now.
Yeah, we are. So but you know what time it is? It's
what time is
it's top of the show, Kramer. So it's time to ask what's hot with Crave Dog.
So it won't be anything specific, like in particular to what's been going on in the NFL, because nobody really cares at this point in time. I'm kidding. Super Bowl weeks this week. But no, for this past week, I got to relax, not have to worry about watching football or anything. Royal Rumble was on, WWE. If you haven't seen it, I think this was a top 3 men's Royal Rumble ever to be performed. It happened at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And I'll tell you what, watching it made me, I don't know, I would say happy or angered or what, but I need a live pay-per-view happening here in Kansas City. The only one that I can think of that could be easily held here would be SummerSlam. But can you imagine? The crowd was going nuts for Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. Can you imagine how the acoustics are at Arrowhead holding like a SummerSlam event there? The crowd, the electric atmosphere that would, like, I guess, showcase all what Arrowhead is built to be used for. Man, I at least at some point in some time hope we can get a WrestleMania, maybe a Royal Rumble, maybe even an Elimination Chamber. Heck, I don't even care. Get me a pay-per-view here to Kansas City. That's why I wish it was domed. I really do.
If they do that Creed Humphrey has to be part of a ladder match, right?
No, put him in the Rumble. Have him win the damn thing. And that's what I'm WrestleMania.
Like, there's something in there, right? Like I would like to see Mankind come out of, or Mick Foley, come out of retirement and fight against Creed Humphrey.
I don't know. The Micker can't. I don't know if he can go. I don't think Mick can do it. I'm sorry. His
like
body
watching Mike Tyson out there now.
That dude's body has gone through so much hell. I don't think I want to see Mick Foley wrestling anymore. I haven't seen wrestling in a hot minute, but man, I don't want to see him out there.
It's like Mike Tyson, like Mick Foley's gonna be walking bare ass through the locker room.
But the thing is, though, they put the wrestling was at the 50-yard line, and everybody was in the seats there. When I went to the Royal Rumble at the Dome in St. Louis in 2021, they cut it half. They cut it in half. They didn't even use the full entire stadium. I think they could do the full stadium at Arrowhead. I really do.
Oh, 100% they could. You could 100% do the full stadium at Arrowhead.
But the thing is, they won't have WrestleMania here because of how cold it got in Philly last year during WrestleMania in April.
See, yeah, they got to do something in the summertime. They need to create a new, like,
Well, they've been
4th
doing
of
it in
July
Tampa.
event. Do a 4th of July event, right? Like they do Tampa because what? They're like based out of Orlando, right? And like Triple H lives in Orlando or something
Well,
like
yeah.
that.
I mean, your neighbors
Yeah.
with John Cena, so
I'm neighbors with John Cena. Like
which
Florida
he
is
was in the Rumble. He didn't win. He was the final two.
Yeah, see, it's like if you're gonna have like anything WWE, there's nothing more Florida than WWE. Let's be
I
real.
mean, that's fair. That's a good actual point. It's crazy too because Topps gave me this card and I can't see anything in it. Can you see anything? It's just a case.
That's crazy.
I don't know why they
It's
did this to me. Topps screwed me. They
so,
burned me. The gypsy burned me.
so clear. The gypsy burned me. Oh man. Well, that's what's hot with Krame Dog.
Oh, yeah.
And no 5-star reviews this week, people. Please, please, please. Gotta pick it up, guys. Anything you write, we will read live on air. And true to our promise that you don't even have to leave a 5-star review, just DM it
True.
to us.
Very true, boy. Oh, did we get something?
So true to our promise, we did get something sent to us from somebody to read live on the air, and it was from a dear friend of the show, Kramer. I think you got it as well.
Yeah, it was rather good. It was oh boy, you're in for a treat.
Yeah, it was from our resident poet laureate of Veach season, Mr. Larry Quinn, dear friend of the show. Shout out, very, very a revered person in the art community and in the literary community. Just
very good.
Honored and blessed and favored that he chose this show as the venue to premiere this piece, and so I'm going to try my best to do it.
Man, this poem though is absolutely enjoy.
All right. So the preface, there's an introduction to the poem. It is, hey asshole, read this shit. So, yes, sir. It's called The Ballad of Bill's Mafia. Oh, hear the cries from Buffalo, so loud, so shrill, so full of woe. Each year they claim, this is the one, then melt like snow beneath the sun. They pound their chests, they scream and shout, but once again their team craps out. A playoff run, a Super Bowl, not while Josh Allen fumbles gold through blizzards cold and winters bleak. They whine of refs each passing week. The league is rigged, the calls aren't fair, but maybe Bills, you're just not there. And oh, the tables, oh, the pain. They leap and crash, yet rise again. With concussed minds and spines askew, they swear next year that they'll push through. But next year comes, and what unfolds? The same old story, tales retold. They'll cry and wail, they'll place the blame, and still end up without the fame. So let them jump and let them whine. Let them dream of rings divine. For when the dust has cleared and gone, they'll still be Bills fans and still so wrong.
Get my snaps in. My gosh, that was just amazing. That was just fantastic.
I told you it is.
I hate Bills Mafia, so this is amazing.
Yeah, I hate Bills Mafia also, and so
yo, snaps for you, Larry. Snaps for you.
Official poet laureate of each season, premiering his work and his piece, the Ballad of Bills Mafia, here in the lead up to the Super Bowl, as we take a victory lap on the Buffalo Bills for beating their ass for a fourth straight time in the playoffs.
Thank you, Larry. That was beautiful. If you want to submit a poem or anything you would like for us to read, feel free. DM us, put it in a 5-star review. Either one, we'll read it.
Put it in a 1-star review.
Yeah,
we'll still read it.
1.5 at least. 1.5. You can't just go
2.
one.
Give us 2.
Give us 2.
Star for each of us.
Yeah.
1 star for Kramer, 1 star for me.
I'm okay with
that. And a star for Serta for all the shit he puts up with. So 3 stars. 3-star review.
Hold on.
We'll read it online.
Let's be honest. You think Serta listens to it? Let's just be honest.
What, to our show?
Yeah, you think he listens to it from start to finish?
Nah,
No.
nah,
No, he does. Yeah, he might.
nah.
He might.
He might.
No, he doesn't.
I think Serta's a big fan of our work. I mean, there's a reason why he keeps us on the air.
It's true.
We
It's true. I
we
love
fill a
Serta.
time.
I
We
love
fill a time slot.
Beach season, baby.
Beach season. No, Serta listens to us from beginning to end because we have a podcast together as well.
Oh yeah,
I know for a fact he wouldn't do me like that.
I know he wouldn't.
He definitely doesn't listen to this podcast.
We've said too much shit already.
He listens to this podcast about as much as my wife listens to this podcast.
Same with my fiance.
Yeah. But that does bring me to my next point of the night.
Oh yeah.
Why are Eagles fans such assholes?
Yeah, dude. Again, especially against Commanders people.
Yeah, like did you see that? Just like bullying people in the parking lot, like
yeah, not cool.
like yeah, talk shit during the game, talk whatever, but like don't like physically touch another person. First of all, don't take their property, don't gang up like 10 people to one and make them feel unsafe.
And those are the fans I truly hate the most. And it's annoying because that said fan in every single NFL team. Like the Chiefs have plenty of these types of people. Thankfully, we don't see these be put on a pedestal to the esque of what the Eagles have been doing, which they're physically assaulting people, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, they're complete jackasses, and so it makes me want to beat the Eagles even more.
Yeah, once I started seeing those videos, I was like, okay, I'm cool with it. Like I'm cool with the Chiefs winning.
Like no love lost there with the Eagles fans.
No.
I got respect for some of the players on the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. I think Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the NFL.
Yep.
I think Jalen Carter is a
nasty.
problem.
He's a nasty dude.
Yeah, they have some. I think Devonta Smith is what we should hope that Xavier Worthy turns into.
Do you think? I know this is completely going off topic of our rundown, but Beach season. Do you think Jalen Carter could possibly surpass the Chris Jones for being dominant?
No,
I
don't think so because Jalen Carter is powerful. He's a monster. He's a total monster. Chris Jones, I believe, a couple of things. A, I think he's more cerebral than Jalen Carter, and B, he's more explosive.
Okay.
I feel like he's more explosive. He's faster off the snap. I think that Chris Jones is a better natural athlete than Jalen Carter.
Interesting. Okay.
But
I think at some point that you could probably argue like they're 1A, 1B, how good they're going to be.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Like, will he pass Chris Jones at some point as far as production and like effectiveness? Sure, because Chris Jones is 10 years older than him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, sure. So at some point, Chris Jones is going to decline and he's still going to be in his prime. I mean, it's just like if Aaron Donald still played, right? You know,
right. Oh, yeah.
Aaron Donald was going to decline and somebody else was going to be the next guy. And so, but Jalen Carter's a problem. He's a menace. The Chiefs have to. Luckily, Trey Smith is probably one of the only people that stands a chance at playing them man to man.
Oh, easily
in the NFL, who's strong enough. And Vic Fangio doesn't like moving his defensive linemen around, which I think is insane because you're going into the Super Bowl and you can either have Jalen Carter match up against Trey Smith or Mike Caliendo. But you're like, I don't move my defensive linemen around, so I'm going to have him play against Trey Smith. Like, what?
That's why Vic Fangio is winless against any time he plays the Chiefs. It's just for that reason alone.
Yeah.
Even when Trey Smith wasn't here, like they were still getting the job done.
And that's the whole thing.
That was like, Von Miller on his other side, even though he's not defensive tackle still. But come on,
it's like you look at this game, and Nick Sirianni, I believe, is a good football coach. Vic Fangio is a good defensive coach. I'm not saying he's great. He's good. He's in the top 15 of the NFL. You can't say he's not. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. Like he's in the
True.
top 15 of the
Okay.
NFL.
Okay.
He's in the top 15 in the NFL. Vic Fangio is a good defensive coordinator. He should have a job in the NFL as a defensive coordinator, right?
Kellen
Like
Moore has done great things at OC for the Eagles.
Yep, Kellen Moore has done great things at OC. They have a good coaching staff. The Chiefs have a historically elite coaching staff. That's the difference.
Because of
that
2
is
people.
the difference. Like we're not talking about being really good. We're talking about historically elite coaching staff at defensive coordinator and at head coach. And honestly, for as much shit as I give Uncle Dave Tobe, he's been in the game long enough and he's had enough success that, I mean, he had Devin Hester. Like that's how long he's been around, is that he was Devin Hester's special teams coach. He made Devin Hester, and then he came to the Chiefs and he's won 3 Super Bowls. And we've had some really big special teams plays in those said Super Bowls. So
we haven't had a punt return or kick return in a hot minute, have we?
What? Well, we had the Kadarius Toney punt return in the last time we played the Eagles.
No, I mean like for a touchdown.
Oh no, we haven't.
This might be it. Might be it.
Well, so Uncle Dave was talking about Nico Remigio this week, and one of the things he said is like, listen, he doesn't have the elite breakaway speed, but what he said is that he's such a clean, natural catcher of the football. Like he tracks the ball perfectly in the air every single time. He's not running back to catch the ball. He's not running forward to catch the ball. He judges where the ball's going to be, and then he's there, and then he catches it cleanly and square in his chest, so he doesn't ever bounce off his shoulder pads. It doesn't hit his hands and then go on the ground. He was like, we're talking about like skills as a punt returner. He's like, he doesn't have the elite speed, but he's perfect in every other area as far as catching the ball, running with the ball, reading blockers, breaking tackles. He's basically he's going to get you 15 yards more than anybody else will. He just might not be able to run away from everybody and take it to the house. And he's like, and we're okay with that, right? Like, which makes sense, right? Because just get Patrick Mahomes decent field position and then bet your money on him. Now the question mark with Nico is he going to put the ball on the ground, right? That is the big question mark because he's done it a couple of times, and the Eagles lead the league in forced turnovers on special teams. They've had, just in general, they create a lot of fumbles. Ball security is going to be paramount in this game. The Eagles have had 3 forced fumbles in every single playoff game they've played so far this year. They have 9 forced fumbles in the playoffs so far this year.
Oh, man. And what we've seen so far with the Chiefs, they have fumbled a few times this offseason already.
A few times, yeah. And what they do is they are very punch happy. They're very punch aggressive, is what I would call them. They're not just trying to stand guys up. On first tackle, they're coming in with the fist and they're trying to punch the ball. We saw him do that against Austin Eckler, against the Commanders. He caught the ball, slipped a little bit, went to go stand up, and Oren Burke came up and just punched the ball out, and he put the ball on the ground. Because of that, I think the Chiefs are going to lean heavily on Kareem Hunt, since he has 5 fumbles in his entire career.
Once he fumbled his first ever career snap, that boy didn't want to do it again.
That was the whole thing. Was he had zero? Kareem Hunt had 0 fumbles in college.
Yeah, he's a rocket, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Toledo Rocket, and then he fumbled his first carry, and then basically never fumbled again his entire career. And so,
take the over on rushing yards on Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, so
rushing attempts. Rushing attempts.
Kareem's going to get the rock for the bulk of the carries, just because Andy doesn't want to put the ball on the ground.
That's fair,
right? Because it's one of the ways that it's one of the ways that the Eagles could beat the Chiefs, right? Because in the Super Bowl, you think about it, it's just 1 or 2 big swing plays most often, true, right? Like Jalen Hurts fumbles the snap and Nick Bolton returns it for a touchdown. That was a massive play last time we played them, right? And so you have to be able to eliminate those plays. And so it's good. So because of that, Nico, love you, bro. You're awesome. Wrote an article about Nico Remigio this week. big fan of his. But we got to protect the football. 2 hands on it at all times, Nico. Got to protect the football at all costs this week.
So they call him 2 hands Nico.
That's why they call him 2 hands Nico. That's why his dad, who's Filipino, called him Duha hands Nico, because Duha is Cebuano for 2.
Duha.
So
Duha. How many you need? Duha.
Duha. But anyway, so 3 reasons. But enough of the reasons why the Chiefs. So here's something else I'll list out the reasons why I think the Chiefs could lose this game, and then we'll talk about how it's not going to happen, because the Chiefs are going to win this game.
I'm curious what your thoughts are.
So one way that the Chiefs could lose this game is the fumbles. Other way the Chiefs could lose this game is if they find a way to overwhelm Mike Caliendo. And if they do decide to move and shift guys over to that side, especially because Nolan Smith Jr. is on the same side there, right? So if
he's playing, right? He's playing.
Yeah, he's playing.
I'm making sure. I was like, he's not just going to sit out the Super Bowl.
No, and so I would almost decoy rush Nolan Smith Jr. outside, high up the arc, to take Joe Thuney with him, right?
You open that section up.
You open that section up, and then you isolate Mike Caliendo one-on-one, so they can't get any help.
So kind of like what teams have been doing with the Juwan Taylor, Trey Smith side of the football.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And you do that, but then you put Jalen Carter over there, and then you have Jalen Carter one-on-one against Mike Caliendo.
Might see him lined up against Mike Caliendo to start off the game. And I know it goes against the grain, but that's maybe where his spot is the entire game.
Super Bowl. That's why you do this. You say things for the Super Bowl. And so we could see it. And if that happens, then what's going to happen is the Chiefs are going to start rolling Patrick Mahomes out to the right, and then the field gets cut in half. And that doesn't mean the Chiefs can't operate and Mahomes can't operate with half of the field, but things get a lot more compacted. Those wide, shallow crosses that you love to run, and the pick plays to free up guys, and the crossers across the middle, all that finding green space, all those plays are out the window, and everything is suddenly condensed.
But at least he won't be throwing across his body. He's rolling out right. He's actually going with his true throwing motion. So at least there's somewhat of positive there if he does try to uncork.
But he has half of the space to operate in.
But this is also a Chiefs team that can extend plays like it's nothing. So listen. I'm interested. If this does go to fruition, I'm curious to what Pat does.
That is how they could lose. How they can win is Patrick Mahomes is a god. He avoids the sack. He scrambles back to the left and then throws it to the left anyway.
Scrambles back to the left. He goes out right, scrambles back. He probably does a little circle back half.
Circle back.
Jalen Carter's breathing down his neck. He goes right around him. Now he's going. Now he's thrown against his body. Oh, I love it.
Because what happens is he goes back to his left, and by that point, Joe Thuney's gotten taken all the way around the arc and picks him up coming back on the backside,
and he hits.
And he throws it. He hits him.
Hits Justin Watson for a 75-yard touchdown.
Yeah, hits Justin Watson for his one play of the day.
Yep,
for a 75-yard touchdown, and then he has 3 passes to Juju Smith-Schuster over the middle of the field for 16 yards each.
There's at least gonna be one of those catches that's gonna happen this week, right? Like we saw 2 weeks ago. So
100%, without a doubt. So that's the second way the Chiefs could lose. The third way the Chiefs could lose is, there's 2 more ways. There's actually 4 ways the Chiefs could lose. The third way the Chiefs could lose is Saquon Barkley just running the ball straight down our throat. And the Eagles, if the Eagles win the coin toss and defer and then go into the half with a lead, they are literally going to come out and run the ball 100 times down our throat and make us stop Saquon Barkley. And the Bills came out at halftime and ran the ball down our throat. The Bills love to run the ball at midfield, and they just ran it. And you saw Chris Jones said on the mic'd up, they're running it all over us. We have to find a way to stop them, to the defenders, because the Chiefs didn't have an answer there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And that's James Cook. That's not Saquon Barkley.
And they stopped giving James Cook the rock in the fourth quarter. Ridiculous.
Yeah, they
ridiculous.
Did.
The Bills are so stupid. So stupid.
They are so stupid. It's the same way that the Baltimore Ravens always stopped giving the ball.
It's the refs that were the reason why the Bills lost. Let's just put that. Let's make sure. Yeah, it's the refs' fault.
It's the refs' fault. And we'll get to that in a little bit. And so the Chiefs have to find a way in the second half to nut up and stop Saquon Barkley at all costs, because they could shorten the second half. If they go into the halftime with the lead and they just shorten the second half and have like a 10-minute drive and get a touchdown at the end of it, it's gonna put the Chiefs behind the eight ball.
Because they're gonna go for on fourth down. Like they're not going to go for it. They're gonna push their ass all the way through there if they have to.
Yep, they're going to, and the Chiefs are gonna have to stop the tush push, which they could.
They stopped the Bills version of a tush push. Yikes.
Yeah. And yikes. And so here's the reason why it's not going to happen. It's that the Chiefs are going to go into the halftime with a lead.
Yeah.
Because
they're notoriously for going into halftime with leads. You're right.
Yeah. Mahomes is going to go God mode in the second half, and the Chiefs are going to find a way to get a turnover and get the ball back, and it's going to play out for them. And the reason why they're not going to be able to do the tush push and run the ball over the Chiefs like that is that they have an extreme deficit at center right now. They're extremely weak in the middle of their line. And I think that they're still going to run the ball effectively, but it's going to be just enough that I think that the Chiefs will be able to limit its effectiveness.
They'll have a call go their way and the Chiefs will win.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly what happened. It's going to be
that's what everybody's saying already.
The rest are going to give the Super Bowl to the Chiefs. It's going to be a fourth down that they didn't make, and then they're going to get pissed off about it.
If I find out, Rocky, you've been paying off these NFL refs this entire year just for me to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan, I'm gonna love you forever.
So flat. You'll be so flat.
That's like the most nicest thing anyone's ever done for me.
Nobody's ever loved me so purely in your entire life. Yeah. But did you see the head of the NFL Referee Association's reply to that today?
Oh yeah, I did. Which it makes sense. It does. Sense.
He's like literally
why
138 referees and 17 crews. Like they wouldn't be able to collude on some master plan to get the Chiefs through to the Super Bowl and give it to them, right?
It's a big Ponzi scheme if it does.
It's a huge there's loose lips sink ships, and there's no way that you could keep it that tight and that buttoned up across that many people.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because they talk. Those referees talk.
Yeah.
The referees talk to the players.
Talk.
You already know that happens.
Yeah, somebody would say something. It'd be caught on a mic'd up. There'd be something. And I said this on Twitter today, and I'll say it again. Like, let's be honest with ourselves as Chiefs fans. Like, I love the Chiefs. The Chiefs have the most passionate fan base. They're a historic team. They have the greatest coach that's currently in the NFL, one of the greatest coaches of all time, the greatest quarterback of all time. We're living in the golden age of football. They're going to be the greatest franchise of all time once they three-peat. Oh, so if the NFL's going to rig this thing for the Chiefs, rig this thing in general, it's not going to be for the Chiefs. It's not going to be for the Green Bay Packers. It's not going to be for any of these small market teams. It's going to be for the Los Angeles, Rams, Los Angeles Chargers, New York Jets, New York Giants, Chicago Bears, Dallas Cowboys, maybe the Miami Dolphins. It's going to be one of the big market teams. And even if they were going to rig anything, they wouldn't have – the New York teams would not be such a shit show.
Yeah, they're bad. Who was that? Their head coach was all fiery, though.
Doesn't matter. Like their teams would not be as shitty.
We're the New York Jets. We're built for this shit.
We're built for this shit. Yeah, no. If they were on the take and if it was rigged, the NFL would be like, make the Jets good. We're gonna make a shit ton of money if the Jets win 3 Super Bowls in a row.
They would make a lot of money.
Make the Jets good, and
make the Jets great again.
Yeah, or for a change, forever, for once.
Yeah, no kidding.
And so there's no way that that's gonna happen. There's no way that they can that they could sync up something like that. And it's just stupid that anybody would suggest it. There's that Yahoo from Boston media that was walking around and asked Patrick Mahomes like which official he like sent a Christmas card to, and he asked Kelsey which he loved.
Yeah, that
more.
dude's stupid.
Yeah, like which Kelsey, which he liked more, which he loved more was Taylor Swift or like a Phantom 15-yard holding
That's
penalty
like
in the playoffs.
it's why, and especially on media night doing this. Like, can we?
Media night is the stupidest thing in the world, honestly. Like it's like 20 good questions and some good audio, and then 100 people asking, "What's your favorite kind of almond milk? Banana almond milk or chocolate almond milk?" And somebody's saying, "I like regular almond milk," right? And Jameis Winston just throwing cookies at people, and then somebody's saying, "What's your favorite cereal to eat with almond milk?" And they say, "I don't eat gluten." And then like that's media night. You're like,
That's
what
why.
the fudge did I just watch?
That's why I love Marshawn Lynch back in the day when he was just there to say, "I'm just here so I don't get fined."
Yeah,
Like
eating Skittles.
that was just it was beautiful. It was poetic. So media night it's a glorified event just to showcase you're there in the media.
Yeah, it's 100% what it. And guess what? Someday I hope to be there.
Yeah, no, same here.
Yeah.
I do. I was hoping behind the
I would,
scenes.
yeah.
Yeah, last night I'm at the post on some social networks, but man, that's I wish I was there. They've been sick.
Yeah, it would have been really cool. Our good friend Pete Sweeney is there right now, and he was there hustling around all day today, getting sound and everything. Pete Sweeney's one of a kind. He
sure is.
He's one of one, man, ladies and gentlemen. So, at some point, Steve Spagnuolo is going to bring up a corner blitz, and Brock Purdy tried to hit over it last year. Josh Allen failed to. If I'm Jalen Hurts, I'm looking for it, and I'm doing whatever I got to do to get to loft that ball to that outlet guy and to get that ball to that player on that play. And if that happens, it could be a big pickup, and those plays happening, game-defining situations.
Oh yeah.
So that's how it could all go wrong. Here's why it's going to go right. Andy Reid,
give it to me.
Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, they're completely inevitable. There's never been a more big game duo in the history of the NFL. There's never been a player who's as big of a competitor as Patrick Mahomes, and who just finds a way to get it done. Saquon can't do it all on his own. He's the best player on their team, but he can't do it on his own. And if you're telling me that my best player is the greatest quarterback of all time, and your best player is the best running back in the NFL right now, I'm taking my best quarterback of all time over yours all day long.
Oh, hands down.
And I have 100% faith in Andy Reid, who's 8-0 against Vic Fangio all time, to be able to exploit Vic Fangio's weaknesses and find a way to move the ball and put up points. And he's been saving things all year long. I don't know what this year's version of Corn Dog is going to be or Jet Chip Wasp, but I know who it's going to.
Who?
It's going to Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown doesn't have a receiving touchdown as a Kansas City Chief yet.
Ooh, and this could be his final snap or his final game in a Chiefs uniform as well.
And I quote, Hollywood Brown said today. Let me find this quote really quick because I was listening to his audio earlier. Hollywood Brown said, they're talking about not having a Chiefs touchdown. His reply was, "I don't know. Would you be stoked if you got that first Chiefs touchdown in the Super Bowl?" He said, "I don't know. It depends when it happens, but yeah, it's going to be exciting. Pretty sure I'll get one this week."
Oh, that's amazing.
So I don't know. It's a conspiracy theory, but
so
that's my
I'm betting the house on a Hollywood Brown touchdown this week.
Yeah. So over on Kareem Hunt rushing, house on Hollywood Brown touchdown, because I think there's a design play to go to him in the fourth quarter.
You think so? No. Why the fourth? Just throw it out in the first and set the tone, get the thing rocking.
Could have two. It's gonna be one of
True.
those games where like he has like 2 or 3, and it's like, oh
They
wow,
run they run the
and better.
exact play in the first half in the second half, and they get still both. It works.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what they should do. And so, my biggest concern, honestly, though, is the Chiefs have no on a side of concern. I'm not going to say it's a concern, but it's odd that for as seasoned of a team as the Kansas City Chiefs are, for their wide receivers to have so little Super Bowl experience.
Yeah, especially how those wide receivers are. Like
Right? Yeah.
it's insane actually.
Like DeAndre Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, never been in a Super
Like
Bowl.
Montreal
Yeah,
Washington has a Super Bowl ring over D Hop.
yeah, right. Like Juju Smith-Schuster and Justin Watson are 2 guys that have like
That's
serious like
true.
Super Bowl experience. But Xavier Worthy, the rookie, never been there. D Hop never been there. Hollywood Brown never been there. You figure those guys are going to be the 3 top wide receivers, right?
Right.
And so it's just like is like you don't like I don't think that the stage is going to be too big for them because
I don't think it should
they're
be.
professionals. It shouldn't be, but you don't know until you get there.
Yeah, the nerves could set in. It being like it's the biggest game of their careers. So who knows what happens during that given moment? As they're
Yeah,
flipped, their switch probably may not flipped or anything like that. If I can
yeah.
speak right now, my goodness.
The yeah. So who knows? You never know until you get there. But luckily, I do have faith that the rest of the team is seasoned enough that if somebody is freaking out, that they're able to either A, calm them down, or B, Andy Reid will just do a next man up thing and say, okay, we're shifting the game plan. Everything
Yeah.
that was going to go to Xavier Worthy is now going to Hollywood Brown. You know
No,
what
no,
I mean?
Nico, get your ass in there. We need your
Yeah,
hands.
Nico, get in there. You're up, buddy. Yeah, and so I have all the faith in the world in Andy Reid to get this figured out and to be one step ahead of everybody else. And it's interesting. Because everybody talks about how everything's rigged for the Chiefs and how the referees are rigging things for the Chiefs and how the Chiefs don't deserve to be here and blah 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 blah, all this stuff. And then Howie Roseman was on was asked this week about the Chiefs, and he said that he constantly has Chiefs on the brain. That he's like, when you're building a team, you're thinking, okay, how do I win my division? How do I win the conference? How do I win the Super Bowl? He's like, and for me, I have to think first, like, how am I going to beat the Chiefs? Like, if I'm building this roster, how do I build a roster that's going to beat the Chiefs? He's like, they're constantly on my mind, and that tells you everything you need to know. Because aside from Brett Veach, Howie Roseman's the best GM in the NFL, right? And
True.
and I mean, they're the best. The Chiefs are the best team, and I think that's what Julian Edelman said, right? Like he was like, they're the best team, and the refs didn't cause the Bills to to not pick up 4th and 1.
Yeah.
So
They should have made it. They should have made that first down quite clear if the Bills Mafia wanted that to happen. But
yeah,
the
they should.
Bills, but Josh Allen didn't make it. I still don't think he made it. Even
No,
in that side by side thing, the ball still never crossed the line.
no, his helmet did,
Yeah,
but
the
the
ball was
ball
still
didn't.
behind that line.
Yeah.
I don't understand what people don't see. I really don't.
And here's the funny thing that I always figure: 2 things. The funny thing is, one, it's always been like, okay, if you really think it's rigged, then bet on the Chiefs. You're stupid if you don't bet on the Chiefs,
Yeah.
especially for a guy like Adam Schefter who has tons of money. Like, bro,
I've lost all credibility to Adam Schefter's out the window now. Like it
yeah,
really is. It's gone.
like if you think that's true and that it's rigged, and you're rich, then why aren't you becoming richer by betting on the Kansas City Chiefs? Like that makes
Put
no
your
sense.
money where your mouth is.
Yeah, put your money where your bitching is. And secondly, if this is actually rigged and the Chiefs are cheaters, like everybody says, and they're worse than the Patriots, and they're all these things, then why does nobody ever say anything bad about Andy Reid on social media or any of these like on ESPN or any of these talk shows or anything like that. He's the head coach of the team. He's the CEO of the team for all intents and purposes. Nothing happens in that locker room, on that field, or in that organization even. Like, I don't even think that Brett Veach makes a move without Andy Reid signing off on it. That's why Brett Veach calls him coach. He doesn't call him Andy. He doesn't call him Coach Reid. He just calls him coach because he has that reverence for him, and that's why they work so well together. Nothing happens in the Chiefs without Andy Reid signing off on it, but yet all these bitching, complaining assholes out here, nobody ever says anything about Andy Reid because they know better that you go after the footman, you don't say shit about the Godfather because that's how you get your ass taken down.
It's reason why, because he's 50-2 this year, regular season.
Yeah.
And 2-0 this playoffs.
And reason why? Because he's probably one of the few people that are powerful enough in the NFL to pick up a phone and call ESPN and say, tell Adam Schefter to shut the hell up.
I still remember
to keep my name out of his mouth.
I remember last year, week 7, 8, people wanted Andy fired in Chiefs Kingdom. Like, they wanted Andy Reid to be gone last year around week 8. Look where we're at today. Like, seriously, folks.
It's the same thing with people wanting Mike Tomlin fired, only it's even worse because it's Andy Reid.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, and it's complete insanity, and it just shows you it just shows the falsity of their arguments and how they're just speaking through their pain, that they're like, we want the Patriots to be the best team ever. We want an East Coast team to be the best team ever. It can't be that the Chiefs are the best team ever. They're from Kansas City, for God's sakes, and they're like, they're a flyover state, blah, 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 blah. Like, and they're literally having a GD seizure over the situation. They're just grasping, and they're trying to find somebody else to blame. It has to be somebody else. It can't be that they're actually the best team ever. Mm-hmm. It can't be that they're amazing. It can't be that Patrick Mahomes is great, which is why whenever they want to tear down the Chiefs, they say, oh, well, Patrick Mahomes, isn't playing very well. Oh, well, they have a deficit of talent here. They have it's never Andy Reid is a bad coach.
It never is.
Because he's not, and they know better. And so, but if it was rigged, you should be calling out Andy Reid first. And the fact that you're not tells me you don't even believe the shit that you're saying, which is why it's shame on you. And so I think that Roger Goodell maybe has already done this because some of the rhetoric coming out of ESPN has kind of toned back a little bit. But if I'm Roger Goodell, I'm picking up the phone and calling ESPN's offices, and I'm saying, tell your talent to shut the hell up about cheating and the game being rigged and refs and the games being fixed and refs throwing the games for the Chiefs, because we have a lot of money on the line with sports betting. Mm-hmm. We have so many sports betting partners. We have a team in Las Vegas. Yep. We have so much money to lose if the credibility of the game is called into question. There is too much riding on the line for us from a dollar and cents perspective for you to mess it up by saying stupid ass things on the air because you're emotional or because you want to get ratings or clicks or whatever. Right. And I don't guarantee it because I don't know for a fact, but it wouldn't surprise me if Roger Goodell went as far as saying, listen, there's 1,000 streaming services out there that would love to have Monday Night Football, ESPN. So tell your people to shut the hell up, or we're moving Monday Night Football to a streaming service the second that this contract is up. Right? Like, you want our games?
Welcome to Netflix.
Then don't call the validity of our game into question. Right? If you want the product, then support the product. And you can say, well, freedom of speech, I believe in all of that. But freedom of speech doesn't apply to business deals.
No.
You can't say I have the freedom of speech to talk about a business partner however I want, and then say that business partner can't walk away from our business deal, right? And so ESPN has a lot to lose by their personalities saying stupid ass things on the air and calling the validity of the game into question. And so it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Roger Goodell has already made a phone call.
I would hope he already has. I would seriously hope, because what Adam Schefter's saying, which he's the number one source, I would say, in the NFL. That still is, unless Ian Rappaport has actually surpassed him. But I mean, everyone knows who Schefter is. For him saying this is asinine. Like, this is, I wouldn't say it's career suicide, but it's close enough for me that knowing that my credibility that I just had with you reporting anything, it's gone out the window because you believe some sort of conspiracy against a certain team. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. And I just don't understand why someone wants to stoop that low just to say the refs are in on it. This wouldn't be, now we're not the NBA here. Clearly the NBA is completely rigged 24/7, even with trades. But NFL, they haven't yet to be cracked down. Even go back to the MLB, an umpire is kicked out of the league because his name was associated to a bank account with his friend that sports gambles. He's gone. He's done. Like, you're out. You're out of it. Now, I'm not saying that the refs are betting or side betting or anything like this, but if you have an insider saying they're going and pushing for the Chiefs to win, you're an idiot. You're stupid. Read more, or actually read smart people's stuff, not what Adam Schefter's saying.
Oh, 100%. 100%, without a doubt. And just like, if you actually believe this, that the NFL is rigged, then I would ask you to first check your emotions and ask, why do I believe this? Is it actually because I have factual evidence to back it up, or I have an emotional reaction to seeing the Chiefs be successful and I don't like it? That would be the first question I would ask myself. And I would bet that most people would just say, I don't like the Chiefs because they beat my team and I'm sick of them winning. So I'm looking for a reason why they have to be the losers and why they're cheating and why it's happening. And it can't be that they're the greatest team of all time.
No, it can't be that.
Then I have to acknowledge how great they are. And I don't want to do that. All right. Before we get out of here, last thing we're going to do is what's your final score prediction for the Super Bowl?
Oh man. I'll be honest. I haven't really thought about it yet. I'm looking at sports books right now on DraftKings. It's ESPN Bet, DraftKings. It's pretty even. I don't know. I see the Eagles winning and I see the Chiefs winning. I just don't know which one's which. Like, it's this on paper, both teams looks great. I just don't know who I want to pick.
I'm going to say, I want to say 31-28, but I feel like Philly's
That's too high. I think that's way too high.
Field goal at some point.
I think we're getting a Rams Bengals type score.
What, like 14-17?
I wouldn't be shocked.
All right, then I'm going to say 23-20 Chiefs.
19-21 Eagles.
What? You're picking the Eagles.
Yeah.
You're picking against being a Chiefs fan.
No, I'm just, my heart says the Eagles. I'm going with the heart.
Are you picking because you want to remain Raiders fan?
I promise you that's not the case. I promise you that's not the case. I could change this by our post-game show we're going to be doing at noon, I believe, on Sunday. Our Super Bowl coverage will continue on that. It might change then. Right now, I'm leaning Eagles by 2 points.
You disgust.
I'm just being. I want to be. I'm an honest person.
So disappointed.
I'm an honest person, dude. I'm an honest person.
You are. You're
I
as
see
honest
it how
as
it
they
is.
come. All right. Well, you heard it here.
I hope I'm wrong. But as of right now, I'm leaning Eagles by 2.
Kramer really doesn't want to be a Chiefs fan, apparently.
No, it's not the case. I can't wait. If they
Chiefs join us and be one of us, how are you going to be the bride of Mahomes? And you already bought the wedding dress. The venue's already paid for, and you're just like trying to leave him at the altar, like praying that like you get an out and you don't have to show up.
I'm the one that got away.
You're like the wife that's like, oh God, I hope he just sleeps with a prostitute during the bachelor party, so I have a reason to get out of this. I have like a legit reason
do people
to get
think
out
like
of
that?
this marriage. I hope not.
I hope
mean,
not either. But my goodness,
I would, but I imagine there's probably been some situation where they've probably hoped
easily.
that their dumbass fiance cheated on them in the bachelor party, so they didn't have to go through with it. I'm sure, and I guarantee you, there's dumbasses out there that have cheated on their brides during the bachelor party.
Wouldn't be shocked.
I mean, guys are idiots.
Guys and gals.
Yep. All right. Well,
sorry to put a damper on the mood, but
well, cup you later, Kramer. All right, we love you guys. Happy Super Bowl week. Go Chiefs.
Yeah, go Chiefs.
Chiefs are gonna win. And we're going to be three-peating, baby. One more win to go. Find somebody you love out there today. Be good to each other. And we hope we earn the privilege of your time. Until then, we'll talk to you guys on the other side of a three-peat, baby. Take care.